here. We're joined by Luke, me, George, Tom, and Jordan. We're going to be covering a few things that we feel are quite important at the moment. And first thing we're going to cover is the retain list. So we're going to go through the retain list. What players were happy with that they've stayed. What players were happy that have been released. To start us off, we're going to go for the players that are still under contract. And straight away we're going to go for Bird. So who wants to start us off?
Yeah, we chatted about this, didn't we, in the end of season review?
Yeah.
Obviously we had different people, but all five of us said he's got to stay. Class, and I'm glad he stayed. Doesn't mean someone's not going to come in with an offer, does it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Personally, I think he'd still do well at League Two club.
Yeah.
But
Luke.
Well, young Nottingham lad. I mean, he's come through he picked him up from Dunkirk, was it?
yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, from Dunkirk. I mean, you got to give him a chance. From what's been asked of him in a tough situation this season, he's done really well. So you got to look at it that way and say, yeah, he's worth keeping. So the future's bright for him. I mean, what is he, 2019, 21?
Yeah,
Something
he's
like that.
It's quite young. So yeah, I'd keep him on board. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, like you said in the past video, I think the first name you'd think of who you wanted to keep from the end of that season and what we saw, it would be Bird, because like you said, he's a Nottingham lad, is a player the fans can get behind. So you need someone like that, and I think he can be quite a big character in the dressing room. I know he's only young, but someone who knows what the club is to Nottingham and to the people. It's good to have that kind of person there. So and you've written him at the top of the list, so
Yeah.
that's what I mean. So
I think as well, because he's young and obviously he could have quite a long career with Notts. That's something that for me I see as long as he don't get snapped up by another club.
Well,
That's something that's appealing.
It's just speculation, but there was talk of Nolan going to Bolton. That I'd heard.
Yeah, I heard that as
And
well.
I heard that he wanted Bird with him at Bolton.
Which speaks volumes to say they're in League One.
Yeah, but that's probably not going to happen. It's just talk, isn't it? But you never know.
Yeah. Next player we've got Enzio Baldwin.
I don't think he'll be there. I mean, it helps, doesn't it? Because we had a list of 30 players,
Yeah.
and now this is narrowed down, so we know who's definitely still at the club as of now. But I don't think he'll be there.
I don't know. It's one of the, I think that's a tough one because if I'm right, I'm sure he's got 2 years left on his contract. So if someone comes in to buy him, it's going to have to be
a decent offer.
Yeah.
We're not just going to let him go for cheap. I know his wage is quite high, maybe.
Yeah.
He's one of the.
Yeah.
At the time, he was a big name signing for us. I think in that position we was in, but the pace he has in non-league, you need players that can just kind of have the pace to do stuff. Not disrespect to a lot of other teams, but it is a league where there's maybe older people playing.
Yeah.
So just that turn of pace can do well for us. But like you said, probably a big offer would have to be made because he is a decent player. I don't think he's non-league standard at all. He's higher than non-league.
Oh yeah.
On paper anyway.
You don't.
Sorry.
No.
For me personally, I think he's kind of like a old school Emil Heskey in terms of he's a confidence player. Before he got injured in October, November time, whatever it was, he was every time he was charging down. I mean, he weren't brilliant at the time, but he was. As soon as he cut in from the left on his right foot, you saw his goal against Cambridge, top corner.
Yeah.
He banged. I can't remember who it was against their own, but he just curled one into the bottom right hand corner, and you just thought, oh, this guy's something we've been lacking for seasons. Maybe since Jamal Kamara's kind of different player, and ever since then, when he got injured, came back and everyone, the fanfare was like, oh yeah, brilliant, we got Enzio back, and he's been tripe. I don't know how else to describe it. He's been awful.
Did he score on his first game back? I think he might have played well at least, and then after that game. Yeah.
I don't know. He's been tripe from what I've seen since coming back from injury. He may well have done because I think he got 5 or 6 goals this season maybe, and it's just more the fee and the potential because we've been crying out for a winger like him for years, and then I don't know how you thought about start of season. I thought, oh yeah, we'll always get out of it. We had those 3 games under Kuhl where we won 3 on the trot, and I thought, yeah, this is it. Enzo's looking good, gets injured, and then from then it's been tried. But I agree with you lot. I think he'll get picked up by someone else and just get him off our wage budget because.
You take a hit on him, wouldn't you? You take on the fee you paid.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Got to.
Well, yeah, you got to. I mean, he's going to be on a fair whack, and I mean, I don't know compared to someone who's been released or whatnot, but for me, he just hasn't delivered enough.
No.
But, and like I say, non-league's a very, very different league.
Yeah.
So
What about Ramey Campbell? You think he even plays? I don't know.
Ramey Campbell.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I
worth keeping
don't
him.
really have an opinion because I've not
There's
seen the
nothing
lad.
to see of him, but I think I'd rather have an experienced striker in that league.
From what you've heard of youth team though, and how they've done, he is one of the top performers. So you would hope that eventually, because obviously people were saying he should have got a chance before, that hopefully he shows everyone what he can do. But it's difficult to know obviously how that's going to pan out. But
Well, I thought, sorry Jordan, I thought originally before even the Tete came on board, I saw Campbell as I thought, oh, this is the name from the youth team striker wise,
Yeah.
who was going to, if anything, come into the fold.
yeah,
And then it's just sort of, like so many, you know, I can't think off the top of my head, but like they just fizzle out into nothing and get released before you know it. What's his name? Oh gosh, local lad. Oh, I can't remember his name.
Mangle.
Not Nangle. No, there's another one. It'll come back to me in a bit.
is it,
Thompson. No, not
Malachi?
Thompson. Not even Malachi. But he's a Lavelle Moore. There's
Yeah.
another one. Colby Bishop. That's the one. And apparently he's been banging goals in for I don't know what level he's at, but he's been banging goals in. But it's another one you see a couple of appearances from him, and then that's it. Fizzles out into nothing. So for me, yeah, just give the lad a chance. I mean, it can't be any worse than John Shed this season, who scored none in the last 16 or 17. I mean, I love John Stead. He's been a great servant, but just give him a chance, man.
yeah.
Crawford.
He's got a star because I've heard so many good things about him. Hasn't he just won the trophy with Fire, FA Trophy or something like that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's just yeah, I think just start him.
So he's proven he can do it. in
Yeah,
that
At
league.
that level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Christian Dennis.
I mean, I'd keep him. I mean, it's the same again. It comes down to money, and until this takeover happens, I don't know what's happening. But he's proven at the level. He didn't. I mean, we didn't play to his strength. We didn't play to any strengths last season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we knew what we were signing, a fox in the box kind of player. You know, he's not
Get the
gonna.
balls to him in the box. It's not. He can't.
Well,
be
yeah,
what he
that's
wants
the
to be. Yeah.
Exactly. Couldn't get the balls into the box to him. Like he didn't have the greatest times, but I think at this level, it depends if he wants to stay as well.
Yep.
But I'd personally keep him. I don't know what your thoughts
Do you know
are.
what's baffling about him though is he got like 20 odd goals for Chesterfield when they went down. So he can do it in a team that's getting relegated.
Struggling. Yeah.
He just didn't. He didn't get a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think. Not properly anyway.
No, I agree.
But then you could say, did Chesterfield play better when they got relegated than we did? I mean, when we played them
I
at
think
the end of last season, they looked all right. So
I don't know about if you lot agree, but as soon as we lost Ryan Yates in January, we just that's when it started to go. And the fact that we lost on telly, I was watching it in Beer Keller, and we lost 3-1 to Chesterfield on TV one day.
Shocking.
And another one that retained is Andy Kellett ran the show, the irony, who's done nothing.
Yep.
And Christian Dennis bagged the penalty, and against us, I mean, I don't know. I'd keep him personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see him there as well. Doyle.
He's not going to stay.
Do you not think?
He's under contract. He's not staying. I
Mm.
don't
it
know.
depends if people come in for these, because obviously we've retained them. Like they are Notts County players, but there is a long period of summer and the transfer window. But we're hoping obviously that these will stay, and if they do, you can see him performing. But you just got to hope that obviously no teams come in.
I don't know. He's quite, for a footballer, he's quite old though, isn't he? He's like 37, is he?
Yeah, be nearly 38 by the time the season.
Yeah. So you got to think if a club's coming in for him, I don't know. Is he going to play the full season and be at full fitness for the season? It's just one of those, I suppose.
The only thing is, a lot of the players that we have now, I don't think would ever have seen themselves playing non-league football at the start of that season at all, or would expect their ability to be the level of non-league. So if a team does come in, I don't think they'll just decline the offer. No, I don't think any of the players that we've kept that we signed last season would want to play non-league football.
Yeah, but is Doyle as well in a league that's basically Saturday, Tuesday? He's not going to be able to keep up with all the games, but he's also not going to want to stay on the bench, is he? I know League Two's like that, but
Yeah, I mean that's what will draw a lot of players to stay at Notts because they know they'll probably get played now a lot. Whereas if they went to a team in League Two, they'll be challenging. So if they are at the last stages of their career, they'll probably think, "Oh, I'll just play out my days in non-league." But yeah, it's difficult. But
It's a shame because he started off well as well. I I listened to the Forest Green game on the commentary and obviously I was centre parts for Lincoln, but I saw the Mansfield game and it just seemed like with him and O'Brien, Rose, it just seemed everything was like clicking. And that Ardley always talked about, when I came in there was like 8-9 point gap and we got it down to 2 points or whatever. It's like, yeah, you did, but you did it in January then. Like, if he doesn't see himself as a non-league player, surely as being in the heart of the team, he could have done more. Do you know what I mean? I know his age, I know his legs are gone, but if he's expecting to leave, who's he going to go to? Like, if he can't cut it for 5 months or whatever, for a team that's meant to have so much quality in it, who's going to want to pick him up? Especially on his wages as well. I can't imagine it's cheap.
Moving on, Declan Dunn.
I don't know, can't say anything about
Yeah, you've not really seen him play, so
we'll just have to see what happens.
Billy Davis said, "Nay comment."
Etete.
Well, I thought he was on trial at Spurs.
I've heard that.
And
I've heard that as well, yeah.
One of my close mates has gone on about and has spoke to a journalist from Spurs, but there's not seemed to be anything that's come from it. So, if Spurs are interested in putting him on trial, then play him. Play him.
Give him a
He
chance.
can't be any worse.
Definitely. Fitzsimmons. Now, for me, I wouldn't start him, but if he's happy staying on the bench and maybe coming off the bench when there's an injury or
playing the
when he's
FA
needed, yeah.
it's not
Because-
a good all-round keeper.
No, he's not a good enough all-round keeper for me anyway. But
Not commanding,
when he came off the bench against, like I mentioned in a previous video, when
Schofield got sent off.
yeah, he played well. He did well, and I thought to come in and play like that, he did really well.
I just think non-league you need someone who is solid, organises the defence,
Talks, good distribution.
and I don't think he does that.
No.
And I think non-league is a very rough league. It's tough to play in and tough to kind of get out of, and you need that kind of. It's almost a backbone of the start of the whole team is a keeper that knows how to shout at players to get them to do what they need to do.
Yeah,
And I don't think he has that.
organises.
Yeah.
I think what saved Fitzsimmons at first as well is because we were that sick of Adam Collins. I mean, it wasn't just Collins' fault. Nolan used to say to him, everyone was crying for, quick throw-outs and whatnot, that he never did. So as soon as when he got injured and Fitzsimmons came into a team that was more stable and had more protection of the defence, and it weren't even I think we had a really good defensive record when we got to the playoffs that season. Obviously, it was a bit of a scapegoat at the start of this season when we were conceding average of 3 goals per game, which was a joke. I mean, our defence was atrocious. But the blame lays with him. You need to remember as well, he's only like 24, 25, and in terms of a keeper, that's not even that old, really.
No.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I won't keep him. I don't know. I just don't.
If you get someone in who he can learn from, who's an experienced keeper, maybe not the best keeper in terms of level, but someone who's been in non-league a lot. You see some non-league keepers that are 40 years old with the playoffs teams, and they're solid.
That's investing in him now, isn't it? You're sort of investing in him in a way.
No, he's a get out.
And do you invest in someone if you're not fully behind them?
Well, no, I feel he can be, like you said, the second goalkeeper, but I don't think he's that. We need to invest in a starting keeper.
If we go into next season, he's number 1. I don't know how to word it. No confidence whatsoever.
Right, Hemmings.
Right, can I start on this one? I love Kane Hemmings. I think he's brilliant. There's no way he's staying. End of. I can't see it. I mean, loyalty in football. I don't know to you. I think it's dead. I mean, you don't see any one club players anymore. I don't know what affiliation Kane Hemmings holds towards. Maybe the fact that we stuck by him with his injury, but I mean, he's contracted for 3 years for crying out loud.
Do you think like Salford going for him?
Potentially. I
They
mean,
better
where's he from? Like, where's he
He's based in Burton, I think.
based in Burton? Oh, well, that's not too far from Salford. So,
Imagine them, Adam Rooney and Hemmings up front.
oh my gosh, he's a really good player. Like, I really like him. I mean, for a struggling team, yeah, I think he's done really well, and I really hope he does stay, but I just can't see it at all.
The quality of ball he was getting this season as well. He's not really come to his full potential. He had an injury, but he still got, was it 14 goals? So
14, 15.
you got to look
Crazy.
at that and say,
I like his work rate as well. I mean, you know, we've had players in the past, like I'm going back a bit. Tony Atworth would run, but he was dire.
yeah,
We've had some dire strikers in our time, but my time, not in everyone's time, but he, for me, has been very, very good. And I can remember at the start of the season talking to my brother about this, saying, I'm so happy we have now got a striker who's actually got pace and who will run at defenders, you know, chase things down. I'm not saying Stead wouldn't, for example, but he's actually got a bit of pace about him and actually seems like a proper striker, especially for League 2 level.
And he knows how to
like a
finish.
presence
so
as well, hasn't he?
He's
got that presence.
Harry's defender. I mean, when he scored that blooming penalty against us in the 99th, I wanted to, well, knock him out. Obviously not. Like, I wouldn't. I couldn't. But I just thought, you know, that's a striker you want, and I was so glad when we signed him, especially from under Mansfield's nose. But I would love to keep him, but I just don't see it happening, Tom.
Kelly.
No, I don't know. I can't really tell you about him because he's not played enough.
It
Like,
seems to be the story of a few of the players on here, doesn't it?
So you've got Keller here. You've got Oxlade-Chamberlain. Like, I think he could do a job, but what do I know? I haven't seen him play.
That's the thing. You think you can do a job. Patching as well. That's
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
I just don't know, do you? You just don't know what.
It makes you think, like, what have we been doing?
Yeah.
So we've been playing the same squad and losing with the same squad and not trying to mix things up. So, but it'll be good to see how them players do. I mean, you can't write any of them off who haven't played or haven't played enough.
Yeah.
But speaking about Hemmings, I feel like a lot of them might feel they've got something to prove, and that's with the players that haven't played as well. So
Yeah,
they might come out and
comes
have a
down
really
to the
good
player,
season.
doesn't it?
I think Kellett seems like a system player, as in he needs a specific, you know, if you play him in a 4-4-2, he won't be as effective. From what I've seen, which obviously weren't much, it does seem like an actual good footballer with a good footballing brain. You could probably say similar to Vaughan, but I'd keep him. I think he's got the quality, and I think he's shown enough. But if you go, who's that? Sorry, Oxlade-Chamberlain. For me, I mean, when he played, what was it, Oxford City? Yeah, when he played in the cup, like he made whoever was playing left back that day look silly. But for me, I think that's an Alan Hardy signing. I think that's a
the name.
look at us, Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah.
You say the same about Mitch Rose, I suppose, but he's had a big impact.
He's
Think he'll
Huge
stay?
impact.
Rose.
blooming
I'd like him
outside.
to.
It's
I think
so
he's the
hard
most
to
important
say.
player on that list. Obviously, there's Hemmings, but I think Rose. If you want to keep someone on that list, it's got to be Rose.
I think the more experienced players can have a big impact as well. Like the players who had a good season this season, or who didn't have quite a good season, but we know they have the ability. So Tuchel, I think will be one of the main players next season.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he'll want to come back better, and we've seen that in his tweet. I think he tweeted about how like
He's the only player where you feel like there's certainty there because he's actually come out and said it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think with Rose, obviously his performances this year have been good. You just hope that the players that are retained or that we have kept have the feeling that they want to do something at the club. They feel like, yeah, we've been relegated, but maybe this is the time where we can make knots.
I think maybe
Go back up again and
the fans could be a big part of that as well.
Yeah.
Because with the following this year has been so good, I think it can kind of entice players to stay at the squad. Maybe.
I don't think many. I mean, I can't. I'm only assuming. I don't think many clubs can say. Well, players of clubs can say they get so much backing for a team that's played so poorly.
Yeah.
And get backed so well. I mean, look at Swindon. Like how many? 2,500, 3,000 fans like still chanting it. I mean, more for the fans rather than the players, but still chanting, still getting behind them. I mean,
they were chanting the last 3 minutes of the game maybe 5 minutes of the game. They were just chanting the whole time. We knew we were down, but the fans are still there.
Well, that's what I mean. Credit to all Notts fans out there because we've been through a lot of rubbish.
Not just this season as well. It's been a lifetime.
Many years.
Yeah. Right, so moving on to the release players, Alessandra.
Well,
I can't believe it.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of gutted about that. I'd like to see him stay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think he'd be a good player in that league.
I said in the season review like more than 5 times
Yeah, definitely.
how much I wanted him as a main player. Like, I don't know, gutted.
Alessandro under Kuhl was brilliant. I don't know if the few games they were together, he was playing in that number 10 role, and he was he was so agile, and his sense of gravity was. He was just doing everyone inside. I mean, everyone like Crawley and Crew, but even so, he was brilliant and I think he was just underused. He played out of position, and I'm sad to see him go. But
Yeah.
I'm not like heartbroken. But I think there was so much more he could have got out.
I don't think he played. Yeah, I don't think he was played to his best strengths. But that's like the rest of the squad. I think
It was a bit of a.
it
The
was.
squad's a bit all over the place,
The
isn't it, when you
managers
look at
came
the
in.
style of football that they all play.
Yeah, the managers came in and was like, "What do I want to play? Not what's best for the team."
Mm.
And then maybe that's where it went wrong because we was always trying to play football for what the manager wanted to play. So it was never, how do you work best, or how do you work best? Let's do this, and what's the best position for you? It was like, let's play my way, and this is how we're gonna do it.
I think at the back end after the playoffs, there was speculation that it was enforced to lower the average age of the squad as well.
That's true.
So I think that could be impact big because it could be like slapdash signings, just on the fact that someone's maybe a bit younger than someone else
Yeah.
and they might not have that ability.
I think the whole transfer window was a bit slapdash as
Oh, yeah.
big name signings in that league. So who do we go for that everyone in that league would be like, oh wow, they're making great signings, and we did attacking wise, but the depth we had in defence wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And if a couple of those players had a bad game, then there's no one to kind of come in and step up and replace them. And I think that showed a lot through the season that we just didn't have the depth of quality because we'd put so much money into these attacking players. And I mean, Alessandro, we've had him for how many? Is it two
seasons?
2 seasons, and I think the attacking side of it, there wasn't that much. There needed to be improved. But with him, I don't know, with the whole of retained list and the released, it's hard because we've obviously done that because of the contracts. I feel, in terms of people out of contract, even if we wanted to keep them all, we couldn't because there's no one asking them.
Yeah.
We're not approaching agents now at this stage saying,
Uncertainty,
we want to
isn't
keep you, we want to
Yeah.
sign you, because we can't, because it's selling the club.
it? Yeah.
So that leaves us in a position where we're letting players go now who realistically, if everything was okay with the club, Alan Hardy or whatever, would be looking at and saying, let's re-sign them, let's extend their
Yeah.
contract. But we're not, because we're not in a position to do
Well,
so.
I completely agree with Jordan in what he said of the start of the season, putting all the money into attacking options and Kevin Nolan said, I'm pretty sure he said he wasn't even looking at bolstering any options in defence because he didn't, which I think was blatantly obvious to everyone.
Yeah.
How we did need to. I mean, I know. We had a great defensive record the season before, but I'm sorry, like Richard Duffy does
He's
not
another
film
one,
there
though,
with
isn't
confidence. I mean,
Brisley as well.
I think
God,
there's
just
these two here.
stuff of nightmares.
Got Brisley, Duffy, Ward, Norson. They're ones that we don't even need to mention. They were gone.
Yeah.
Jones.
I think. Yeah.
No, Jones could have still done a job.
Milson
Correct.
for me.
And the startling thing about that, saying Brisley, Duffy, and Jones, is they're 3 of the 4 starters of last season's defence. But
Yeah.
you can't go into the start of the season conceding an average of 3 goals in the first 6 or 7 games. And like outlets, media from all over, like backing Kevin Nolan so much, saying, "Oh, you can't sack him after 7 games after we get him in the playoffs." Like, I'm sorry, but
Didn't get a win.
he didn't get a
If
win.
you take his whole
and
record,
That is. Yeah, I mean,
we was
his whole-
lucky to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, we were lucky.
Yeah.
And records aside, like, I was like, oh yeah, brilliant, got him in the playoffs. Like, yeah, but and it's the same for any other club. When clubs say, you look at it on Twitter, fans say, yeah, but there was one I was looking at earlier so about Mick McCarthy, Ipswich fans saying like, yeah, but you don't understand how much we didn't want Mick McCarthy to be there. When everyone else from the outside saying, oh look what's happened now, you got rid of him. For us, I mean, I don't know about your thoughts, but for Nolan, I liked Nolan, but the fact that he didn't have any even thoughts of backing that defence up, and then 4 against Yeovil, one of the worst Friday night ever.
Just
3 against Middlesbrough. Who was it? Cambridge lost 3-2. Lost 3-2 to Newport in August, and there's no even thought of bringing defence. It was blooming Kulu brought in. Avina, Ward, and Turley to try and reinforce it. If you can't see that, I mean, just going off of last season's playoff push, I mean,
I don't think any of us are football managers here, but we could all
pretty
spot.
clear.
We could all spot that.
That. But just sorry, I mean, that's gone way off what Jordan was saying, but it was very much the budget seemed to be spent on. I mean, our Lord
Headline
Saviour was
players.
saying about game changers side or whatever. Well, it definitely changed something, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just to try and get rid of a few of these now. Avina.
Yeah, I liked him.
I liked him, but I think he's just one of them where I don't know.
Nah.
If the manager's not backing him, there must be a reason.
Better attacking than defending.
Yeah.
Good cross. But
Hewitt.
I think he can
I'd
do the
like
job.
to, yeah.
I think he
I'd
has
like
the
to have seen
ability.
him stay, to be honest. I think.
Yeah.
But some of these players, like I said, I think would have been offered contracts if was in a position to do so. But you don't know about
Yeah.
their wages as well.
You don't
So
know.
that's-
Yeah.
I reckon he'll definitely go Salford. He was linked with Salford in January.
Was it?
Yeah, he'll go Salford.
He
If
has-
not, then I don't know where.
he has
Well,
the ability. Like
He's so infuriating. He's one of those players like just do the simple things of you're good, you're energetic, good central midfielder when it comes to that. When he was alongside Yates last season, they were brilliant together. But when it comes to like ball playing and stuff like that, no. But I would probably keep him. But he's 3 out of the 4 seasons we've been crap. So it's your thoughts. But
This is a fairly quick one for me. Milsom.
Kept him.
They got rid.
Would you?
On reflection,
I'd have kept him, but had him as a centre mid.
I don't have any
Back in centre mid.
confidence in him.
I know you were saying on the season review, weren't you, that you don't know what you're getting from him. He's got no standout.
Nothing,
quality.
this sort of thing, without being harsh.
he's a 6 out of 10 player in it.
Yeah, every week.
If I could sum Rob Milsom up, he's a 6 out. He seems like a nice guy, but for central midfield,
consistently
we've
average.
got
Yeah,
consistently
exactly,
average.
that's
We've got
exactly
too many
what it
players
is,
who are he's kind of like a Hewitt. There's no one who seems to be able to put a ball in like a game-changing ball away. I can't pass through corridor of uncertainty or whatnot. We don't seem to have any of them. We've had too many players like that of that ilk who don't change games. He's a decent player, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sad to see him go.
Vaughan.
Well, we knew that was going to happen anyway.
We knew it was going to happen.
We'll leave that one there.
To a degree, you're glad it's happened because of his wages.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you say. Well,
Can I just say on Vaughan, like obviously he is a good footballer, it just did not work out for him at Notts.
No.
And it's as simple as that. I don't know if it's the level, but it just did not work out for him. But fair play to him and good luck wherever he goes.
I don't think he'll be going anywhere.
You know,
Yeah,
Well,
no,
no,
yeah,
that'll probably be it.
Retirement.
He got a big paycheck, didn't he? And that's it.
he must be feeling that. I don't know, obviously, what he's thinking, but he's wasted possibly the last year of his career, and it's going to be a shocking season to go down and not even get in the team when you were he was brought in as one of the star men.
Yeah,
I thought
when you signed.
game changer.
Yeah.
When you signed him, when we signed him, it was you thinking that's a really good signing for us, but.
I
Well,
think the
we
game's
all
different
jumped on
now,
board. Everyone jumped on board.
You
think
do
the
though,
game's
don't
very
you?
different.
It's your club. You absorb it and you just believe it.
We'll be the same this season when we sign someone from Harrogate Town.
The thing is, the League 2 isn't about quality, really, is it? I mean, we had Lee Hughes and he scored he scored like 30 plus goals, and you couldn't say he was the best footballer. He just knew how to score.
Yeah,
we
that's fine.
we
He knew
were
what
saying
he needed
that.
to do.
He doesn't seem to have any like pace,
Hughes, you don't
agility,
think-
or
yeah,
anything like that, and
exactly.
it's like he still gets the
The
goals.
finishing, yeah. So with Vaughan, his abilities didn't match the level of football. So like he could sit in a team, but he'd have to have the best team around him or whatever, because he needs to be able to have that to show off his abilities. And in League 2 he hadn't had that, and I don't think another team now is not going to get, because they need toughness, athleticism, and he's just not up for that, I don't think, anymore.
You need players that are on the same wavelength as him. Like I'm talking like wide players need to be on that wavelength as him to, do what he needs to do. up here, he's still probably a championship player, but it doesn't hide the fact that he was crap.
His decision making has got to be in line with whoever is playing the ball to has got to be thinking the same thing. And in League Two, you're not going to find that.
You've got doofuses on left and right wing.
You're
You've
not
got
gonna
doofus
find
on the
that.
left wing, doofus on the right, and you've got David Vaughan trying to ping balls to him. It's not
Not
going to end
working.
well. It's not going to end well.
There are some good players in League Two. Obviously, that's me saying that sounds like there's loads of shit players, but
Yeah, I
The-
know.
but like they're there to do a job, and the job in League Two is completely different. You can see that from the team that Tranmere getting promoted and stuff, and the teams that go up. It's not always about quality. I mean, Lincoln have showed the quality.
Yeah.
Taking Michael O'Connor from us, obviously.
But
Cheers.
in terms of
Cheers, Al.
what it takes to get out of that league, quality in terms of what David Vaughan has isn't the forefront of what you think it takes to get out of that league. So,
Yeah.
And you can tell how well fought he was. Sorry, George.
That's
How
right.
well fought he was of by Forest fans, because they always look after him and like even now they're saying like how good a player he is. So you know he's got it. It's just did not work with us, unfortunately, which you can say for many a player who go on and have
Yeah.
better careers post Narts. Look at that.
Stead. For me, my opinion on it is, he played a lot of games for us, didn't he? He's done well for us when you look at it across the board. It's sad that he's left on them terms of us going down, but I'll always have that. I liked him as a player.
He's been good, hasn't he? Like, you couldn't believe we got him when we got him.
Yeah.
Because he's like Vaughan. He's been in the Premier League, hasn't he? Instead, like, he's got the brains to. He knows what's going on. But it's one of those where he's probably just a bit too old now.
He's the professional that you hope every single footballer can be, because he is. You can't knock it. Like you can. Every time we're under fire, which is pretty much most of the season, if anyone's going to come and take on the chin, it'd be John Stead who'd do the interviews. And in terms of what was it, 4 years?
Probably.
I think about four, not 5, but 4.
No.
4 years. I mean, he's getting old. He's obviously losing his pace and whatnot, but on the whole, I mean, like Tom said, when we first signed him, I couldn't believe it. He was on loan at Bradford, and I just assumed he'd probably end up there. And then he came to Notts in League Two, but I'll miss him. I think he's been a good servant to the club. He always tried his best, 110%, and you can't say that for many players these days.
Definitely.
Last one's a big one.
Last one is a huge one, really. O'Brien.
Well, first of all, we all on the thing where I've seen this rumour that he's holding out to know if Ardley's staying.
Yeah, which is at this point what is it now, the 25th of May?
It's just awful.
Yeah, it's quite worrying.
Obviously, we'll get onto that in a bit
Yeah, on the next
about that, but
yeah,
if-
we need the whole what is happening with the club to be done quick, so there is some certainty of what players we can keep, or if he is staying, the manager, then if he wants to keep any of those players that are released or what. But in terms of O'Brien, you need to know. He obviously wants to know before, but if a team comes in, he's not going to wait around.
That one really got me though. When he was on the release list, that was for me one of the big ones where I was really proper good.
But with him, do we know if he's waiting to see if Ardley stays because he wants him to stay,
Well, this is
or
the
does he want him to go?
no, or didn't Ardley bring him in?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of them where they've probably got like quite a close. Well, this is me assuming. You might be right. I might be wrong.
Just don't know anything, do we?
Was it
Yeah,
Doyle or O'Brien from Coventry?
Doyle.
Yeah, okay. Because I know for Ardley,
both.
that was a big signing for him.
Was
I
it
think.
Both
Oh,
from
yeah.
Cov, aren't
So I think a lot of those players that are kept on or released to see what the next move is would be to see if Ardley stays on or not.
Yeah.
they? Ardley seems like a manager you want to play under, because he doesn't seem like he's going to come down on like a ton of bricks on you. And O'Brien, I believe, lives in Barnsley. I'm sure I heard that on a commentary of some sort of interview. So for him, I think it's down to location as well. I personally think that he would want to stay, even because he's always said from day one he joined because he felt wanted.
Yeah.
And there's no denying that Notts fans really like O'Brien because of how he is. you know, you haven't got to have all the quality in the world. If you give 110% but have, you know, a bit of quality, it does help.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, but like Ricky
I think he does have the
I
quality.
love
yeah.
Ravenhill. I
He-
love Ravenhill.
He's the
He's a
ideal
bit,
player for me. He really does get stuck in. He gives his all, and he shows that like a good level of aggression where it's not too much, but it's you still
like
got
a
that.
Neil Bishop type of player.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, if only.
Yeah, them two centre mid was the best days, but Ricky Ravenhill.
Yeah, that fake season we had. Basically.
I enjoyed it.
Brilliant. 2009-10, bring it back.
I would take that back. I would take that
I would-
over getting
I want
relegated.
to wake up.
Get Monto Finance back.
Yeah,
I want to
I'd take
wake up
that.
2009 August and beat Bradford 5-0.
Yeah,
and lose my voice.
one of the best games I've watched as a Notts fan. But
Oh,
yeah, no, we need players like that. That
Mm.
Ravenhill didn't have the quality, and I think after he left us, he went to teams that and didn't really do much because the quality wasn't around him. But a player like that can fit into a team who gives 100% and do well, because if he wins the ball back and gets it to the players who can do stuff with the ball, then you sorted really, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I know this is a bit off subject, but why you're saying it, Ravenhill and Bishop were both Ian McParland signings as well, pre-Monto. And that I mean, I can't think of a better central midfield partnership in my time. I mean, I've been watching since I don't know, from what I can remember personally, early 2000s.
Yeah.
As in actually remember. And for me, that's the best midfield partnership we've ever had. And that's what you want. And I hope, I mean, I know it's like the conference, but that competitive style of Rose, and you'd hope O'Brien,
Yeah.
fingers crossed,
Yeah, then
just stick to it. I mean, I know I said about Hewitt and, you know, wanting that quality ball, but if you got an outlet out wide, or if you're playing whatever formation with someone who's got a quality ball, I'd rather have them two, you know, just, you know, giving 110% every game.
Yeah.
Because you know they have got a tiny bit of quality as well. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
It's a bit like Ravenhill and Bishop. Ravenhill was the one who won it, and Bishop was the more player and playmaker,
Yeah.
and just pinged it around. So if you have Brian winning it and Mitch Rose doing the technical stuff,
Well, you're hoping Doyle would do that, and if he is staying, I mean, I think you alluded to it earlier, Tom, saying that, you know, he might be off regardless, depending if he gets an offer. I think the whole point of it was like, you know, you got Jim O'Brien who's going to run his heart out for 90 minutes, and Michael Doyle will, you know,
Screen the defence.
find the. Cause he seemed, when he first came, I thought that was going to be it. I thought, oh yeah, definitely stay up with ease.
Yeah.
My dad, so you can blame him for this. When we went the 3 games, 7 points from 9 games, we were
Yeah.
200-1 to finish in the top half, and he put stick a fiver on that for £1,000, and I think we won about 2 games after that,
Nightmare.
and that was from February onwards. So thanks a lot, Melvin Bow.
Right.
You can find him on Facebook.
That's the retain list then.